Hey, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning business training for May 23rd. And I hope your weather's better than mine. We got another day of spring snow out there. So when the call's over, I got to go out and shake my trees because it's wet, heavy snow. So what a fun thing to do on a Thursday morning. But we've got a new topic for you and a new worksheet. It's called the Manager Director 2020 Vision Worksheet. And you'll find it in our Live Younger Facebook group. You'll find it in our What's New section of Live Younger Success. And you're going to find it on your screen in just a couple of minutes. And I'm going to turn this first part of the call over to Connie Lucas, who's going to talk about this new form and how to use it and and why to use it. So good morning, Connie.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So this sheet was brought to us by Senior Presidential Director Janet Kiefer and her team, and she found it through the Merritts, Steve and Gina Merritt. So that seems to happen in our community, which is really wonderful as tools. Some teams create one thing, some teams create the other. We created Power of the Patch. Now Team Evolve used Power of the Patch. So we all kind of share best practices. And so this is one of those cases where they really had a good idea of a very simple tracking sheet. And the idea of this is to help move you into manager and then through to director, senior director, and beyond. Because there has to be, as we've talked about before, a stability and a structure to your business. It's not completely volume-based at this point in time. And so that means if you remember going manager, it means you're going to have two silvers on your left that are active, meaning they've been ordering product every 31 days, two silvers on your right, doing the same thing, active. So that makes you a manager. But to move to director, you have to start to accumulate more silver and aboves that are active. So you have to keep enrolling. You also have to find people who want to raise their hand and they want to become managers and they want to build managers. And so a lot of times people get in and they say, Janet said this the other day, they get in and they're like, oh, I've got my 4, I'm done. I've got my 4 business partners. I'm completely done. And we all know that life gets in the way, that things happen, and that isn't always exactly the way it rolls out. It's very, very rare that you can go all the way to the top of the comp plan by finding just a handful of people, because it's a sifting and sorting process. It's a what do they want, and are they leaning into the business, or are they just a product user and a casual business builder? So this is a way that we're going to start to put enough people in so that you have the people to sift and sort to know who's raising their hand and who you're going to spend your time with. So if Gregory brings up the sheet, we'll take a quick look at it. And it's so simple. It's really the most simple sheet here. And it's about 20, it's called Manager to Director 2020 Vision Worksheet. And it's really about finding 20 people on your left and 20 people on your right that you have brought in or upgraded to silver or above. It's building the stability and the structure of your business. So if you're new here, it's important to remember customers do not count towards building structure in this pay plan. And so although there is a customer program, a preferred customer program, you're welcome to put people in that way. You need to know that they cannot be added to this sheet, because in the structure of building to manager, director, senior director, and beyond, customers do not count at this point in time. So with that being said, what you're going to do is every time you sponsor somebody on your left or somebody on your right, you're going to fill in their name. Okay, if you've gotten them, let's say you brought them in as bronze, they're not quite there. You can put them on your sheet with a note to upgrade them the next time they're ready. Because if they come in at bronze at $125 with a sleeve of X39, you can always go to them the next month and say, hey, I can get you that $25 back. If you'd like to upgrade to a silver, we can get you $200 plus in product for $175, because the upgrade from bronze to silver is just going to be $175 for them. And they can get 2 sleeves of either X39, X49, or maybe they want to try something else. Maybe they've got some inflammation and they want some Eon. They've got some pain. Maybe they're looking for the fact that they work out a lot and they want to try energy enhancers. You can get them an X39 and swap out the other X39 for 2 energy enhancers, or an Eon and an energy enhancer, which would be great for anyone to use as a secondary patch in their second 30 days. So you can put them on there and then make a note that you're going to upgrade them. And when they upgrade, maybe, mark off that they've upgraded and they're good to go. So this is just an accountability sheet that's going to help you build out. So if you're new, if you just reach manager, if you're still trying to go from manager to director to senior director, it is in a process of enrollment. And almost all of your time that you spend on your LifeWeight business is going to be spent doing income producing activities. And that is going to be, we are going to create curiosity. We're going to send out videos. We're going to connect them to the team, to a Zoom, to a 3-way call, and we're going to enroll them. Almost 100% of your time is spent in those activities. Now, once you've got some people in that have raised their hand and said, I want to go manager, you're going to train them to do this exact same thing. And then you might spend 80% of your time enrolling because you still need to enroll. You're not secure. Your position isn't really stable in moving up through the ranks. And so you're going to spend maybe 75 to 80% of your time still doing those enrollment, follow up, create curiosity, reach out, contact, all of those type of activities. But maybe now you're going to take 20 to 25% of your time that's going to be used to help those people that are excited now to contact their list, to help them get connected to the team, to be available for a 3-way call to answer questions for them. So for somebody new, this is how you use the sheet. Now, if you've been in the business for a while, maybe you've already made director, maybe you're already made senior director or executive director or beyond, you might have a couple of sheets. You may have one sheet that's still your enrollment sheet. Remember, I don't care if you're senior presidential director and one of the top income earners, you're still enrolling. There's still a percentage of your business that is going on that you will always be in the enrollment process. And so you might have a sheet for yourself of all your new 20s. I know that the Merits teach that once you go through one of these sheets, start another, because what we know is there's an average of the average senior presidential director has personally enrolled about 80 people. Now, if you're starting, you may say, oh my gosh, I don't know 80 people, but that's going to happen over your career. That's going to happen over several years. And it's going to happen as you meet people and different people come into your life. So don't get overwhelmed by that. Just know that you don't have to stop at one sheet. You can go to the next sheet and get your next 40. And by the time you've done that, you've enrolled your 80. And my guess is your business has organically started to grow into the upper ranks. Another thing that I've done with mine is for mine, I've created what is my builder sheet. So on this, the only people who get on that sheet, they are builders. They are committed to building their business. They are committed to going up the ranks, and they make that sheet. And I put all my people on my left and all my people on my right. And then I really know who are my serious frontline builders. Okay, those are frontline people that I have personally sponsored that are working to build the business, go on that sheet. And I will continue to add to that sheet. And then another thing that I would do is my taproot. If you watched, might have been last week's training, we talked a little bit about how to find the juice in your business. And so you could go back and find how to find the juice, go back and watch that. And that talks about taprooting. Once you have a builder and they bring someone in, or they bring someone in, or they bring somebody in, if somebody comes in and they're excited, that's where you drop down and you spend some time. You really work with that person while they're excited, while they're new, to get them up to speed. And so maybe you have another sheet that your taproot people on each side, and make some notes to that. Now, I move this sheet. You might get to the point where you're taprooting and working, and you might move this sheet over onto a whiteboard. And so my whiteboard sits over here and it's been changed. It has a wet marker, what I call wet erase. So wet erase, you have to use water to get it off. Dry erase, you simply have to wipe it off. And so if they're solid, if they're my leaders and they're solid and they're committed, they are in red, they're in a white erase because, or a wet erase, because they're not going anywhere. They're committed. They're developing teams. They have a big why. And so I have them on in wet, and then I have in dry in one color, the people who are working, who are raising their hands, who are doing it. And then I have the people that are possibilities, right? Maybe as I'm tap reading down, I look and I say, oh, look, so-and-so's got these people. And they're saying, oh yeah, they say they want to build, but I really haven't seen any activity yet. Those people might go on there, and you might put them on that I have some activity going on. These are my people I'm trying to work with, but whether or not they stay on the board is completely relative to whether or not they choose to continue doing the work. And again, it's always about them. It's about what they choose. And that's why you're doing 20 on each side, because you have no control over what somebody does with their time. This is a volunteer business. People have to be internally motivated to go out and create what they want to create. You can't push them. You can't make them. You're not their manager. It's not a job. So they have to be internally motivated, and you have to help them just connect in the teams and tools and kind of sift and sort. Now, one thing I want to mention before we bring in a couple of the other leaders to share how they use this sheet is that you love on everyone. Everybody is invited to the team Zooms. Everybody is there to get support. That's why Robin and Gregory have put in so many different tools and Zooms for us. My team has come up and my leaders have stepped in to put in different Zooms and things that everybody can go to. Janet Kiefer has hers. Lavelle has his. Everybody has their team's individual trainings that the whole team can come to, and everybody gets supported and loved on there. But when it comes to your time, and Gregory always says it's your most valuable asset, you need to be very selective with who you spend your time with. If they're not ready to move for whatever reason, or if they're not doing those activities, then you aren't spending your time there. And if you have nobody ready to move and do activities, you're spending your time on this sheet, finding the people who want to lock arms and run with you. So Gregory, I'm going to turn it back to you so some of the other leaders that have been using this sheet can share what they've been doing.
Yeah, thanks, Connie. That was wonderful. I just want to make a couple of comments. I made some notes while you were speaking, and I love the simplicity of this because it's easy to duplicate. It doesn't take, an hour training to show how to fill out this.
Gregory, you muted yourself accidentally.
Yeah, when I lift my hands, the system mutes me for some reason. But we talked about a couple of these things yesterday on the director call. That which is measured grows. I don't know who said that, but it seems to be a foundational law of physics and life. And if you're measuring your success, you have a greater chance of success. And the success of this business is not how many people you talk to, although that's a requirement. It's about how many people say yes and join your team. And we've found over the years, all yeses are not equal. So somebody might say yes, and maybe they come in with a silver package, as you like to say, Connie, but they're really a silver customer. And that's okay. That's totally fine. But there's a difference between a silver customer and a silver builder. And you want to build your business with silver and above builders. And this form helps you do that. And think about it. We can just about guarantee if you fill this form up, 20 on one side, 20 on the other, on the way to getting there, you're going to be a manager for sure. Probably within the first 10, you'll be a manager. But by the time you get 20 on the left, 20 on the right, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be at director. You're going to be well on your way to director. Now, some of you are already manager or already director. Fill out another form and you'll probably be at or well on your way to senior director. And Connie, how many people have you personally sponsored, if you don't mind sharing?
I've sponsored about 150 people, and the vast majority of those people are customers, not necessarily PC, although some are, they may be brand partners, but they act like customers. And so 100, and I still sponsor. I mean, I've got my sheet for Punta Cana. And if you look at your Punta Cana sheet, you're going to realize that the company rewards enrollment and moving through the ranks. And so though, customers are fabulous, and we pray one day that all things are created equal, but in this compensation plan, customers do not count towards moving through the ranks. They get you 1 point towards Punta Cana, and that's it. There's no way to get any more points than that. There's nothing based on retention. And so that if you want to go on incentive trips, which by the way, it's events that are more intimate, like a local event, a Punta Cana incentive trip, the boot camps, when you get to be to those events, you get to be around all the leaders and you have access to everyone. There's community, there's excitement, and it is well worth going and talking to as many people as you need to fill up that sheet and come on that trip with all the leaders. And so people like even the Mascaris, myself, Janet, we have to do the same thing. We have to build our leaders and we have to enroll and move them through the packs in order to get enough points to go on those trips. We don't just get handed it.
And I am proud to announce that we got notice last night from Garrett that Robin and I have qualified for the Greek Island tour. Woo!
Oh, fabulous.
So very excited about that. And but what another thing came to mind when you were talking, Connie, is I'm not a biblical scholar by any means, but I think it's the holy book. And there's a saying in there: without vision, the people perish. And our version should be: without vision, the brand partners fail. Okay. And this is your 2020 vision worksheet. And it helps people to maintain their focus. Visibility enables focus. It also creates an accountability loop. So some of you have leaders emerging in your team that you're going to want to be using this form. And every once in a while say, how's your 2020 worksheet coming? Maybe they can turn it around and hold it up and show you and go, wow, looks a lot better since last time. Or, wow, it doesn't look like you added anybody since last time. And one of the inherent challenges within our profession is the accountability loop. And let's face it, when there's some accountability, people tend to stay on focus. If they know their upline mentor, not their manager, even though you might have the rank of manager, right? But you're not really a manager, you're a mentor, you're a guide, you're a coach. You want to be with your people, and this is a very simple, valuable tool, along with the Punta Cana point tracker. I mean, that's a tremendous tracking tool. And FYI, got the word from Garrett that any day we're going to have a widget in our back office showing your Punta Cana points. And Robin reminded us yesterday, but it may not show all the points because the ranks don't show in the back office to be added to the points for about 10 days, where you can add it the day somebody hits a rank. You can add it on your tracker. But I think it's good to do both. But that's kind of what I had to say. I don't know if anyone else that's already using the tracker. I know Janet's team's a little ahead of the rest of us because they found it and started using it, and it's working. If anybody that's got a little experience with the tracker wants to chime in, just unmute yourself and raise your hand. Go ahead and share. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, I'll jump in until someone else does.
Oh, there.
Thank you, Connie. That was wonderful as always. And I shared yesterday, there's something psychological where you look at a form that has blanks on it that you want to fill it in. And, if you pass out enrollment forms or you pass out, any kind of form that has blank lines, people have a tendency to want to fill it in. So just having this be present inspires you to want to add names to that. And I like putting in pencil off to the side the people that I want to have on those lines that I'm really focused on. So I'm giving attention to those people. And, as we've talked about, this is a business where we get to cherry pick our business partners. and pick ye wisely. Who do you want on your team? Look, I remember long, long ago when I got started, I reach out to my favorite people because when they're in business with you, guess what? You're in closer connection. And it makes it so much more fun to share the journey with people that, you just love and want closer in your life. And so this forum, and I love having several because there's different purposes for different ones, but great job, Connie. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, Robin. And actually, I don't see Barbara Larrabee on, so I'm going to mention what she talked about yesterday because it was really great. She talked about when she's sifting and sorting, so she's putting in all her silvers and above into the sheet on each side. But as she finds her builders, she takes a gold star. And I remember, Robin, when you and I and Gregory did some of our first events together, and everybody's name tag got a gold star, and you said everybody wants a gold star. It goes back to grade school. Everybody wants that gold star. And so it brings your attention to it. And it also kind of gives it a fun little highlight to maybe you go get some little sticky gold stars and put them next to the people that you're, your stars that you're going to be helping to build up and become leaders.
And Mary, you have your hand up. And do you go ahead, Mary?
Hi. Yeah, no, I'm just finding this tracker really fun. So last week, I got, I printed off a copy and I filled in 15 personally enrolled brand partners that mostly are acting as customers, but I spent my time last week upgrading their kits. They were all excited to upgrade. And so I added, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I added 12 points to my tracker. And and so it is really fun. I really do want to go to the Punta Cana trip. And so it really is an incentive. It's working for me. That's all I wanted to say.
Thanks for sharing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody else chiming in. Anybody else want to share any thoughts or questions? Okay, see you later. No, just kidding.
Hey, Gregory, it's Helen.
Hey,
I'm just curious. So like my mind's going, okay, I want to put this on my, messenger to my team and all that. And this particular call, thank you so much, Connie. So what is the procedure now that we can't just go like send them to our Facebook group? How long does it take before it shows up in YouTube average? When should we look for it? Any of our calls?
Oh,
right?
You're talking about this call. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I want to send it on to people. So I'm just wondering, what's the procedure?
Usually within 24 hours.
Okay.
And sometimes the same day. Sometimes the morning calls are uploaded by the afternoon. Thank you, Liz Hodges. And it depends on her schedule because the life also.
Yeah.
And it takes a while. This call is not available to upload for a while. It takes a while for Zoom to process it that we can actually download it and put it into YouTube.
Perfect.
And Gregory, this is Liz. And as soon as it finishes, I'll try to get this one up. But we've also added another thing that we're doing. Once it's up in YouTube, I'm now going to be also posting it in our Live Younger Facebook group.
Great. Because as you all know,
Thanks.
Facebook changed the algorithms or whatever, and we can't broadcast directly into Facebook as we used to. So we made a decision. So we'll keep uploading them there. So people, when they go to the Facebook group, they'll see the most recent calls along with, celebrations, recognition, and other things that go on there. Thanks, Liz.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Liz. I also want to share that in our business, and Marcy trains us beautifully, that everyone has a book called My List. And your network is your net worth. And you want, one of my mentors shared many years ago, Jane Duber, honey, that every single day you're adding names, your contact list.
Yeah.
Every single day. And you live in that place of, and you never know where they're going to come from. You just don't know who you're going to, what happens in life. And it could be, and you don't even have to leave your house. It could happen anywhere. And, I had no idea. I posted my before and after from my, my recent x-rays, and some friends from 30 years ago showed up and both became silvers. It wasn't my intention actually, but it was pretty fun. So staying engaged and keeping that list growing always is what's going to grow your business.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Thanks, Robin. Lynn, you've got your hand up. You wanted to share something?
Yes, I just so love God's timing. I was in health and wealth, health is wealth, .biz last night. I printed every form except this one because I didn't understand it. So I'm so grateful to have the training. The second thing
Okay.
is, someone had just mentioned that they had just upgraded people, their kits. Just today, I was going to work on and trying to figure out how. From talking on Michael Jaco's show, I have like 15 PC and PC pluses, and I'm trying to figure out how to upgrade them to get them to, I mean, at least to silver, so they get a lot more bang for their buck. I'm sure they have inflammation going, all kinds of things. So how do you upgrade people who are on this list, that you want to make them grow with you? How do you do that? Take a
Connie,
PC
I'll
C plus
ask it
to
to you.
Yeah, there's a couple things. One, I would tell you for sure, reach out to Jennifer Allen and Roxanne, because they are masters at the conversation of upgrading. And I think you'll get some really good, verbiage from what they've been doing. But for me, I would be looking at one of two things. If they're a personal friend, I might say something like, hey, you're ordering on a regular basis, and you may or may not want to share, but I'm trying to win an incentive trip, and if I can upgrade you here, I'm going to help you save money, and it also would help me. Are you open to that idea? That's if there's a personal relationship there. And I could say with for them, the first month we can get you this. You're going to get that you can get a few extra patches for just $50 each. And then the second month, if I upgrade you from there, I can get you a free sleeve of patches. Everything has to be the benefit of them to doing it. Now, if you have somebody you find that's pushing out their auto ship, maybe they're a PC, but they keep pushing it out, or you might say, you might go ahead and talk to them about the idea that, hey, if I upgrade you and put you as a brand partner, you may want to share and get your products paid for, you may not, but you aren't required to be on monthly auto ship. So we could buy you some products in bulk. We do have some maintenance kits once you've gone through there, and that can save on postage. So just imagine someone comes in, they go silver, then they upgrade to gold. They don't need to go beyond that if they're not going to order a product. Now, if they're a family and they're ordering a lot of product, because I have a lot of people that they've got them on there, their athlete kids are on them, it makes sense to go to platinum and to go to diamond, okay? And they stay active at diamond for 3 months. So for some people that could make sense. For others, it's not going to make sense. But at that same point, they're people that they're ordering a lot of product, some of those maintenance kits. And if you go to Live Younger Success, Staying Active, you're going to find some information on maintenance kits. And maintenance kits will keep you active while still getting you a good price on product, and you're paying shipping for a bunch of product at one time, but you're staying active for 3 months or 6 months. So now just consider that somebody's paying, if they're paying $8 a month in shipping, all of a sudden now they can get a pack where they get better pricing, stay active for 6 months, and get better pricing on the product, and they're paying shipping for once that entire 6 months. So look at it to the value of them and what makes sense for them based on what they're purchasing or what they want to try, and see if maybe that's a way to play with that a bit.
Thank you.
Great answer. I couldn't have
Thanks.
given that. Thank you.
I've done
Hey,
it a few
Tommy.
times.
Tommy, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say, we appreciate your teaching on this. You're phenomenal, and learning a lot from you. So-
What?
I'm Tommy from Orlando.
Hey,
Hello.
Gregory, it's Helen. Could we show the people now instead of the chart? People have been asking that in the chat. I was just going to put it out there.
Well, you should be able to. You could just open up your screen.
I mean, I see the chart, not the people. Is there something I should do?
Top
I
right
see.
corner, click on view and you can change it to whatever type you want. If you do side by side gallery, it will then bring everybody's thumbnail up on the right hand side with the form on the left.
Yeah.
I
And
think she just wants the stopping of the screen share so she could really
Yeah.
see people.
So I'll do that in a moment, and then we'll come to you, Lavelle. I just want to show everybody where to get the form. There's some questions. You can go to Live Younger Success, and you can go into the What's New section. Scroll down, and I want to point out there's a new part of the What's New section. We just added Judy and Liz and I. It's updates on the Live Younger Success website. So because we're always making changes, and here you can see what the newest changes are. And the newest changes for this week, we updated the brand partner welcome letter. So there's a new version in there. We keep making it simpler and shorter. And this is where you go and you click to download the worksheet, or it's also pinned in Live Younger Facebook, and you can download it from there. So there, now everybody knows where to find it. I'll stop the share and we'll just go to full screen so people can.
And I'd like to say, I'm sure Janet has it in her website. If
Mhm.
you're on my team,
Yeah.
you can go to healthaswealth.biz.
There you go.
It's in two places. It's under the video training of Manager Maker, and it's also in our foundational training tools and marketing tools as well. So you can
Perfect.
find it there as well.
So it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
So print it out, and don't do somebody yesterday hit print when it was up on the screen and printed the whole section. Make sure you're printing the PDF and not the whole web page. But okay, now everybody can see everybody. So any other questions? Lavelle, go ahead, brother.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Couple of things. I had to leave one of my newest leaders. He called me while the Zoom was going on. So I don't know if you mentioned this about make sure that you keep it in front of you. Make sure you have a whiteboard up, because we do get distracted with life. But if you keep it in front of you, out of sight, out of mind, and that's an old saying. I love old sayings because they work. You want to do that. And then the other thing I want to share with everyone, if you're interested in really killing this thing, you got to show up to blow up. Because every time, you like that, Gregory? Every time you show up, you resell yourself. Every time you're teaching, you resell yourself. You just, you got to show up, because repetition is the mother of all learning. You want to learn this? And I remember when I first got involved, I said this before, that the guy said he made $250,000 in a month. And you have to ask questions. Well, how did you do that? Ask the question. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because then if you don't ask, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. You want to ask questions. And this is a great, great community, guys. We have something. I like to say, we found a fountain of youth, and we found a pot of gold. And that's what we have here. And we're just so excited. And sometimes we get off track, and sometimes, we're on track or we're off track. But that's okay, it's like a baby. You learn to crawl, then you learn to walk, but sometimes you fall down when you're a baby. But you get back up. Just keep getting back up, and soon enough, you'll learn not only to walk, but to run with your business. So guys, we're here to support everyone. And then don't be afraid. A scared man can't win. A scared woman can't win. You got to have courage. Just speak to people, and just keep speaking to people. And soon enough, guess what? Your story will fall on good people. Thanks for letting me share, Greg. And
Thanks, Lavelle. Hey, Pamela, go ahead, please.
I just have to say, Connie, thank you so, so much for the way that you help so many people. And one thing I have to say about this community is people are looking for hope, and they're looking for community, and they're looking for people to help them. Every time I get on one of these calls, I have to say it just lights up my heart, because I just feel that so many people, it's just not about the business, it's about people. And the business will show up. But just thank you. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Pamela.
I always say, I think we sell hope. We don't sell patches, we sell hope. Whatever it is for someone, whatever it is they've been praying for, whether it's from a health perspective, a financial perspective, because we do talk about those of us that are very driven towards helping people and supporting them in optimal health, and that's a passion for us. Sometimes we have a tendency to forget, particularly if we're sitting in a nice financial position, that although every single person on earth needs this technology, that may not be what they're looking for. Their prayer that day might be, how am I going to feed my kids? How am I going to pay my mortgage or my rent? How am I going to get my kid to college? I mean, we don't know what they want unless we ask. So I think we have a tendency in this industry, and I did too. I come from a very product focused background. I always was a major customer getter. And I really had to pay attention to the fact that just because that's my focus doesn't mean it's someone else's, and really finding out what's going on with them is really important, because we could be like, oh, I'm not looking for builders, but you know what, that could be what that person's actually praying for. And along the way, they're going to get the health.
I just have to say one more thing, Connie. I come from the same industry as you do, and every one of you probably has a hairdresser. They should be involved.
Yes. Hey, Myrna. Looks like you got a cute little one in your arms there. Your beautiful picture.
Yeah, I do. Thank you so much. Thanks, Connie. I really learned a lot from you guys. I just have a question. Is anybody having a challenge with the InTouch app? Because I have to keep on uninstalling it and installing it. Or is it me, or is it my iPhone, or?
Myrna, it's probably only happening to you and I. No.
I have to chime in here.
I was going to say, Mary's got some experience she can
Yeah.
share with you,
A
Myrna.
lot of experience. I have a new i15 phone, and it's really frustrating, but I'm just going around it by sending other videos right now. I think the technology hasn't caught up with the new i15 phones. I get no data. I can send one video and then I have to delete the app. I have to download it back. I have to put my username and password in, and I can then send one video and then I'm back to no data. And so the whole rest of the app is unavailable to me to keep track of things on my app. I can't do that. So I'm putting everything on my paper calendar.
So
Right.
I'm going to ask if anyone is having trouble with it, send me an email, gmascari@me.com, because I'm going to compile that, because I have an iPhone 13 and it's happening to me too. I reload it. I can use it one time and then it stops working again. So I'm glad to know it's not just me and you, Mary and Myrna.
Yeah, no, I just laugh now.
Okay.
I'm beyond frustrated. It's just, okay, whatever. And I'm just moving
and it is
on.
something we're teaching and training. So it's the company's tool. It's the one tool that everybody has
Right.
across the entire company. Gregory, if you reach out to Jared, White, he knows about this problem with Mary. He's got the details, and his position now is to help brand partners with the big things like this.
Okay.
And so he's been trying to work on it. So maybe reaching out to him and giving your push of, hey, we're hearing it a lot.
Yeah. So Jared did reach back to me. He sent all the information, because I sent him a lengthy email about exactly what was happening. And his response to me was, I'm going to pass this on, but I do not have a phone number to speak with anyone. So I have to wait until they get back to me. So that's where I'm at now.
That's great information, Mary, because Gregory then can bring this to the executives, and the executives can see what's going on with the people that own the company now for the app.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I'm glad it's not only me.
I wish it was, but I'm glad to know it's not. Okay, so I'll be on that. Thank you for bringing that up. Hey, Julian.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I just want to say how much I appreciate this group. First of all, Connie and all the leaders, Robin and Gregory and Carolee and Jennifer Starr. I just have never been in an organization with so much support from cross lines and things like that. And it's just inspiring me to stay with this and reach out to my cold list on my phone. And on the call last night, Connie, I think it was Michael that did the presentation, or I don't remember his name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mark.
Mark. Okay. And he talked about reaching out to his cold list on his phone. Did he do that through text? Did he call them? I'd love to get.
He started with a little bit of if the cold list, he started more with he had a pretty generic, but heartfelt message saying that he and his wife had a really amazing experience and that they had found something and they thought it might be able to help them as well. Would they be open and interested in watching a short video just to find out what it is? Something very brief and short. And then he just waited until then for those people, he actually sent the video too, because this was his cold market. He had already been through the warm market. So he sent the video and just played the numbers. Who's going to actually watch the video? So as soon as they watched the video, then he reached out and called them. And so that's how he was able to do quite a few people. But he said the follow-ups keep trickling in. And so he actually has only gotten, I think, to his B's or something, because he's still getting people enrolling and following up just from his A's and his B's. And he wants to make sure he's paying attention to those follow-ups and has the time to do the follow-ups, and then he'll move on from there. But it allows you to kind of put it out to a broader amount of people. And he did send them separately. He didn't put them in a group thing. He wrote out what he wanted. He said he emailed it to himself. I usually will put it in a note and you can just copy and paste it in. Now, if you're super tech savvy, there is you have as options in your iPhone a text shortcut. And the shortcuts could be where you have like one letter and one number, a letter and a number or a short phrase, and it'll copy the entire thing. And so when you put that phrase into your text message, the whole thing populates. You do have to be careful with that for those of you that don't understand it, because my daughter got into my phone many, many years ago when I wasn't super tech savvy, and under her name. So if I write her name in a text, it changes her name to my favorite daughter. So, yeah, you got to be careful what you have there, because every time you put whatever the word is in that you do that phrase, all of a sudden the entire phrase is going to pop up instead of just the words you wanted. But that's the way to work that cold market. Just
Thank you.
sorting.
And I have one other thing. So I'm on my app and I lost the username and password, but it doesn't have anywhere to reset it.
You don't reset it. It's your username and password for your back office.
Oh,
Whatever your LifeWave username and password is, it's the same for the app. Because that way it connects to you. That's how it connects to you and knows who you are.
I haven't been on there in a while. Have they updated it? Or is it
what?
The InTouch app? Have they updated?
Yeah, there's been updates, so you may check for updates as well.
Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all.
So one quick thing, Gregory, where do I email you again? I'm sorry.
G and my last name, MASCARI@me.com.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And just put in the subject InTouch issues or something like that.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to write to our VP of marketing and our VP of sales when I get off this call. Actually, after I go out and shake the snow off my tree so no more branches break.
And I do want to share on our recent SPD call, Jeff Hildebrand was on. And as you've noticed, there's a lot of changes in the app. And we have some new things coming. They always say coming soon. We don't have a date, but they are revising our tools for compliance, and we will have a lot more available very soon. And for many people, there's just, a lot of us are using liveyounger.com right now. You don't have the feedback that you get from the app, but it's a great tool to send out to people.
And we still have Pop Webinar.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people
Yes.
forgot about Pop Webinar, and that thing was a closer. I'm just going to tell you. So popwebinar.com, and from there you can, you've got an entire presentation that either Gregory, Janet, or myself is going to do. And at the very end, it's going to give them the options of retail, preferred customer, or brand partner. So just know that that's part of the process. And if you're building only with brand partners, you may not want to utilize it.
Cool.
I think you have Donna raising.
Yeah, Donna, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I was wondering, is there a script for upgrading people in the Health is Wealth or Live Younger?
Gregory, I don't think we have really scripts meant for upgrading, as
No.
far as that. I haven't seen any scripts. I think the best way is just to look at the packs, look at what it's going to be when they're upgrading a pack and what their savings is going to be and the value they're going to get. And that's what you're going to approach them with, a better value for them.
Saving them money. Beautiful. Okay. Any other questions on topic or off topic? We've got a few more minutes for this call. And if we're complete, we might end the call.
I think she was requesting a script because she doesn't know exactly how to word it. So maybe if there's a script in place that will kind of just help her to follow, like a guideline. I know some of us, we're just speakers by nature. Some of us have experienced Toastmasters and, we've been in the speech and drama classes at school, but that's not everyone's testimony.
Right.
So I think she's requesting a script so it can just kind of help her to convey the message of value and the importance and how she can benefit or the guy or whoever she's trying to encourage to upgrade. Right.
So if anyone's motivated to write one up, send it to Connie and I. We'll take a look at it, maybe massage a little bit and add it to our websites.
Hey, Gregory, it's Judy. Can you hear me? I'm calling in by phone.
Hi, Judy. Yeah.
Hey, Connie. Woo, you are amazing. I love listening to you. Thank you so much. Regarding the script for upgrading people, in the meantime, there is some information on liveyoungersuccess.com under business basics. It's point form, and if you click on business basics, stay active, go to business basics, scroll down, you'll see stay active, qualified. Click on that, and that will bring you to a page with 5 options. Number 2 is how to upgrade from one kit to another, the why, and the exactly how to do it. You go to store and then you click the upgrade button. And there's also some point form information about maintenance kits. So that could help in the meantime. Thank you again, Connie. You're amazing.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you.
Hey, Gregory. Hey, Connie. This is just phenomenal. But I do want to mention something, if it's okay. There is a young man that's on the Zoom. He's one of our newest directors. He was the fastest man in the 400s in the 80s. His name is Elliot Tabron. It's his birthday. Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, Elliot. Woohoo!
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Call
One
me
of
off
the
guard.
fastest. Yeah.
Elliot. Elliot.
Yeah, I remember when that movie E.T. came out. They teased me. Yeah, you're bringing back old memories.
That's awesome. Okay, well, I think we're kind of complete here today. Connie, that was wonderful, so insightful and wonderful training. I'm sure many of you are going to want to be back to it and share it with your team. And thank you, Liz, for getting it up later on today as soon as Zoom has it available. So that'll be added into liveyounger.youtube.com. It'll be added into liveyoungerfb.com, our Live Younger Facebook groups. Beautiful. Well, thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
And if you all want to unmute and say your farewells, now be a good time to do that.
Have
Bye.
a great weekend, everyone.
So glad we had
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very valuable.
Memorial Day.
Synergy.
Hi,
You're
bye
welcome.
everyone. Thank you for the training.
Amazing.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody. Thank you.
You.
Aw.
Happy birthday, brother
Synergy.
Elliot. God bless. Woo-hoo.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Sister Pastor.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
What a
Great
group.
call.
Thank you.